But in all fairness to them, here's the one thing, and I've talked about this. Nonprofits and charities are businesses. You register as a
Yeah.
business, and then you
Yeah.
decide to go nonprofit or charity. You register that. But the reality is, they're a business. The average business will every time they get a sale in, 1/3 goes to overheads. I mean, that's just natural business. My business, everybody. So that would be 33%. Uh, excuse me. Having said that, if it was only 33%, it might be okay, but it's not. And we can go.
Yeah.
Anybody can go right now and find out what it is
Yeah.
by just going to ChatGPT or Gemini or whoever you want to go. It'll tell you, and it's not good. But again, I look at that as not a bad thing if they're employing all these people.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, that's a good thing for society and everything else.
Yeah. People employed who actually want to try to improve the situation.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. Let's just
Great
let's
intention.
let's have more of those. Yeah.
They just need
Yeah.
help. That's
Yeah.
you strip it all away. My conclusion was these guys all have great intentions. They're all good people. They just need somebody to help. That's all.
Mm.
Not change. Not doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Just work with me on these volunteer things and all that kind of stuff. I even had a recent CEO of a big charity that originally said, "There's no way you're getting my people because they have the disease, so they're not going to go out and do this." And I said, well, let's ask them. And we did the whole thing. And by the end of it, every one of them was saying, of course we're going to do this because we're still raising more money for the charity of choice. And there's no transparency issues because that money comes from us. That money comes through us to the charity. So we know where it's going.
Yeah.
So even that CEO said, this is actually great. I never thought I would live to see something like this that, wasn't trying to destroy the industry, but was actually trying to win it. So,
Yeah, there's something to be said about transparency, I think, with nonprofits because, there are like organizations that are explicitly set up to show the transparency of the nonprofits, like
yeah,
what is going on there,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I
And
think the
so
problem with that, just to be clear, is that
yeah,
a long time ago they were kind of, really just focusing on all the good they were doing and all this other stuff and everything. And so as it got to be more obvious, they were hiring more people and everything like that. They never really made that decision to say, hey, let's just tell these people that, this amounts 50% is going to the overheads and all this other stuff or whatever it may be. They just kept, doing the same thing over and over again because it was the way things were done. So who would have, thought 25 years ago that AI was going to be out and be able to tell them everything? Well, I think now they're in a little bit of a problem. But again, as long as they have models, and I hope other people will create models like we've got, so that will help them to do it. Because who wants to disrupt 17 million employees? I mean, I want them to keep doing that all the time. So, so I think that we can work together and really solve some of these problems.